It's about that money. A lot of people are interested in money. A lot of people are interested in making money. And so, we talk about getting into sales as a great way to have like uncapped earning potential, and you're in control of your income, and it really puts you in a position where you can actually have some control over your paycheck, right? Rather than just getting showing up, punching a clock, and getting a check that you can predict every month. So, but part of the idea of a sales job is that you have the right understanding of money. And so when I came to work for Grant at 26 years old, I didn't know a whole lot about money. I knew I wanted more of it, and I knew I had none of it. So what I had to do is I had to start figuring out, like, hey, what do I need to start doing that is different? And so a lot of you right now, you may be in a situation where you're looking at your own situation. You're like, man, I'm broke. I don't have the money I want. It's frustrating because you're capable of so much more. You know you're capable of more, but things just don't click. So you get in these, if you're like most people, if you're like me, because I know this happened to me, that frustration would actually like pull me down into these ruts. And then I'd be stuck in a rut for like 2 weeks. I'd be so bummed out about my circumstances, my situation, where I was at. And I didn't have the money that I wanted to have. And it was just this thing where I was like constantly reminded of it. I couldn't buy this. I couldn't buy that. It just wasn't, it didn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You just don't feel good, right? And so I was like, man, I'm going to change this. So I started getting interested. I got, hooked up with Grant. Y'all, probably know that story. But when I started working for Grant, the thing that I wanted to do was be like, hey, what is this guy doing? And what has he done in the past to get where he's at today? And then I started looking at my own life, and I started looking at all these mistakes that I was making compared to what this guy was doing. So I got a list of 10 money mistakes that I was making. And again, if you were anything like me, the chances are you were making these mistakes too. If you have questions, call into the show, 305-865-8668, 305-865-8668. Money mistake number 1, you're short-sighted. I was very short-sighted. I was always making decisions for today. I was always making decisions for tomorrow. I was always making decisions for this weekend, but I was never making decisions for 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. And it's really hard to do when you're younger to look that far forward, because typically what happens is when you're looking that far forward, there are changes that you have to make with the way that you live your life. There are changes that you have to make in the decisions that you make and the choices that you make about how you basically move your money around, how you save your money, how you collect your money, what you do to multiply your money. There's changes that need to be made. And those changes are hard because you're looking at today, right? Like, I remember the first time, I started getting on like this, I want to get my money right train. I started banking money, right? I was like, okay, I want to get to 100 grand. And then once I get to 100 grand, I'm going to give it to Grant. I'm going to invest in this real estate. I'm going to make all this money. And so that was the plan. And so I was busting my ass. It took me like 8 months to where I could put, package away 100 grand. And I remember when I wrote that $100,000 check to Grant, I was like, I wrote a $100,000 check. It took me down to like $6,000 in my bank account or something like that. Everything that I had. And I wrote this $100 check and I gave it away. I invested it, right? I invested it in real estate. And then next month, I got a check. And that check was for like $400. And I was like, $400? I gave up 100 grand for 400. And then a couple months go by, and then it goes to 600. And I'm like, okay, wow, hey, it's going up, right? And then 800, and then 900. And then about 3 months after that, the deal refinanced, and of that $100,000, I got back 45. Got $45,000 back. And then the cash flow, those checks, they kept pumping, right? Now, $400 a month, $500 a month, $900 a month, that may not seem like a lot, but fast forward to where I'm at now. I remember when I was like, man, if I could just get to the point where I was making 6 or 7 grand a month, I'd be stoked. I was on unemployment, and I was like, man, if I could just make $6,000 or $7,000 a month, I'm gonna be stoked. Dude, I make double that in passive income now, mailbox money. Just shows up every month. Because what I did is 6 years ago, I made a decision to start thinking forward, start thinking past tomorrow or this week or this weekend, and I made a decision to start thinking 10 years down the road. And so number one mistake that people make, number one mistake that I made was I was short-sighted. So I was making decisions that helped me today but hurt me in the future. Number two money mistake, you refuse to develop your skill set. From the time I was 18 to the time I was 25 years old, the only education that I did on how to actually become a better salesperson, because that's the field that I was in, the only education that I invested in, I didn't even invest in it. My grandpa did for me to go to college, and I didn't even learn anything about making money there. But I did nothing to actually develop my skill set, right? Can you imagine a professional athlete never going to the gym and working out and not eating the right food? They constantly are investing in developing their skills so they can improve their skill, they can improve their ability, they can improve their performance, and that way they can command more money when they go out and they're trying out for a team or something like that. So number one, short-sighted. Number two, you refuse to develop your skill set, and when we come back from the break, we're going to dig into the list. This is Young Hustlers.
Hey, it's Ted McGrath with Message to Millions. Do you want to create a presentation online that actually gets clients? So I got something for you here. 26-point framework. If you want to do videos that sell, webinars that sell, I've tested this for the last 6 years in my business. I sold millions of dollars worth of products and services online. Click that link, grab the gift, tell me what you think about it, and I will see you soon inside the gift.
The world of advertising exists far beyond Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. The web itself has an infrastructure of exchanges and placements for your ads to gain traffic, increase leads, and convert your products and services. RTB.cat is built to efficiently take your business and promote all over the web, every website, every location, and RTB.cat has a system designed to get you right in front of the most coveted locations to promote your business. Take the hassle out of the ad exchanges and lengthy ad bidding systems. Let RTB.cat get you moving right now and handle the work for you. Grow your business, get known, and sell your services online. Sign up now at RTB.cat. That's RTB.cat.
Bullfrog is here for 2018 to service you and your business to the highest levels of success. More communication, no drop calls, better integration, faster response time. Kill the desk phone and take your office mobile. Sign up for a free trial right now at bullfrog.net. That's bullfrog.net and join the world's #1 telecommunications company, bullfrog.net. Or email Ben at bullfrog.net or benrife@gmail.com. Email Ben at bullfrog.net or benrife@gmail.com.
Over 12 years of experience, Boron Capital is invested in commercial real estate and is looking to get you fixed 8% returns on your money. We're looking for high net worth individuals interested in high luxury commercial and residential space. This is not a volatile investment. It is stable and ready to make your wealth work for you. With over 300 transactions, this nationwide service can take your 401k money or your IRA money and get it working for you. We process your funds in 24 hours and get you invested the next day. Learn more about this opportunity at boroncap.com/invest. That's boroncap.com/invest.
Welcome back. This is Young Hustlers every noon, Thursdays, East Coast Standard Time. Thursdays, noon, East Coast Standard Time. We do this show if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure that you comment, you like, you share, you get this out. If you're listening to the podcast on the Cardone Zone, please rate and review, leave some questions. We love to communicate with our people. So we're talking about money today because, dude, you got to have the right mindset about money if you want to be successful in selling. If you don't have the right understanding of money, you don't have the right education about money, it's going to be really hard for you to be successful as a salesperson. So I'm covering 10 money mistakes that I made, 10 money mistakes that killed me from the time that I was 18 to the time that I was about 26 years old. Really slowed my path down. And I don't want you to fall into those same mistakes. So number one mistake was being short-sighted. Number two was I refused to develop my skill set. I wasn't doing anything to refine my craft. Number three, I made zero investments in education about money. So not investments in how I could become a better salesperson, but like investments in how I could actually learn more about money. If you want something, it's important that you understand it. You've got to learn about it. Like you've got to figure out like how does all this stuff work? So what I started doing, I at the very beginning, I was like, I want to watch CNBC every day because all they do is they talk about money. I'm not going to understand most of it, but if I do it long enough, eventually I'll start picking stuff up. It's like I was talking to the girls in the back, like, want to learn how to speak Spanish better? You watch those telenovelas. Mi pequeña traviesa. Right? El gordo y la flaca. Right? It's a good one, right? So, like, you have to invest in, like, learning about, you have to invest in learning about money. Right? What books are you reading? What courses have you taken? When's the last time, if you want money, when was the last time that you actually purchased a course to teach you about money? When was the last time? Like, you say, hey, I'm not making enough money at work in my sales job. When was the last time you purchased a sales course? Like, when was the last time that you actually did something that reflected the way that you felt? You did something about the way that you felt. So, number 1, short-sighted. Number 2, you refuse to develop your skills. Number 3, you make 0 investments in your education about money. Number 4, I had a problem with this one, living above your means. I was on that fake it till you make it plan. Does not work. I had an advertising sales job. I was making pretty good money, 15 grand, 17 grand, 18 grand, sometimes 20 grand in a month. Dude, I blew it all. Every penny I made, I blew. I remember I was like, if I could just get to 10 grand in my bank account, I was living at home. The only bill I had was a car payment, right? I was like, man, if I could just get to where I had 10 grand in my bank account, I'll be stoked, right? Nope, dude, ain't gonna happen. Why? Because your dumbass was popping bottles at the club, picking up the tab. You're going out, you're spending 2 grand every weekend. You're blowing all your money. Dude, it ain't ever going to multiply. It ain't ever going to stack. It ain't ever going to rack, right? So, like, you can't live above your means. Like, one of the things I respect most about Grant, because he makes a ton of money, dude, people that make 100th of the money that he makes spend more money than he does. Like, I have so much admiration for him because he, like I was saying before, like, he'll go to Bloomingdale's. He'll take Elena to Bloomingdale's. He'll take the girls to Bloomingdale's or Neiman Marcus or whatever, but he will not buy anything unless it's on sale. The amount of discipline that he has in the way that he spends money, the way he treats money, it's admirable. That's probably the best description. Like, he respects money. Like, he knows how hard it is to make money. I remember I told Sandy, my wife, she had spent like 4 or 5 grand in a month on the credit card, and I was like, do you understand that, like, I have to make double that so that you have that to spend? So when you spend $1,000, that means you got to make 2,000 so that you have the 1,000 left over to spend. So you got to start being aware of these things that are happening. When you go out and you're like, hey man, I want to go on a trip, and the trip costs you $1,500. That means you got to make 3 grand to pay for the trip. You know, you want to go buy some shoes. The shoes are $250, $300. You got to make $600 to do that. Where's that money come from? So you got to be aware about all these things that are happening, and living above your means will kill you when you're trying to fake it until you make it. Particularly if you're not developing your skill set. Particularly if you're not investing in learning more about money, right? 2 callers. We'll get to the callers in a second. Let me hit this one. Number 5. You're unwilling to make the necessary investments of time and energy and effort and resources. Now, this is a big one. Because a lot of times people have this, like, I need to have it now thing. Like, they want to have it now. Like, I want to be rich now. Yeah, Johnny, stupid man. So like, you're not willing to do the work. Like, you have to understand that, like, when you go and you plant something in your backyard, like, you don't see the result of that for like weeks and months before the thing starts growing. And so I think people get cut off short because they don't understand, like, the work that it takes to get things to happen. Like, dude, I remember I was busting my ass studying, coming into work early, staying late, like, trying to figure out this thing in the very beginning when I was started to sell for Grant. I'd never made cold calls before. Like, I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff. And like, I remember it took like practically a year before I really started, like, understanding what I was doing. But most of you guys, you quit like after like a week or a day. Like, you don't even give yourself a shot. They say that there's this concept called 3 feet from gold, right? Like, some gold miner back in the day, he was digging and digging and digging, and he ended up stopping and selling the claim for something stupid because he wasn't finding any gold. Somebody else came in, started mining that same mine, and literally 3 feet from where this guy stopped, they struck it rich. They hit like some massive thing and made, all the money. So like you're 3 feet from gold, right? Like don't stop. Put in the time. Like if you've been grinding on the same thing for a month or 2 months and you're not seeing results, that's totally different than if you've been grinding on the same thing for 2 or 3 years, right? Like you could be in the wrong vehicle, which I won't get into now. But look, those are 5 mistakes I made right there. Number 1, I was short-sighted. Number 2, I wasn't doing anything to develop my skills. Number 3, I made 0 investments in what I knew or understood about money. Number 4, I was spending more money than I made every single month, so I was broke all the time. And then number 5, I wasn't willing to make the necessary investments of time and energy and resources to even get me on track to get out of the hole that I was in. So I'm gonna hit these bottom 5 and get to the callers when we come back from the break. This is Young Hustlers.
Want to learn how to invest in real estate like Grant Cardone, but you don't have the cash to invest yet? Reach out to Chris Root and his team where he will show you how to invest in real estate to build cash without credit or much money by learning how to wholesale real estate. We'll show you the right way to build cash so you can invest in multifamily apartments and other real estate investments like Grant Cardone. Reach out to @Chris Root Entrepreneur on Facebook now. Tired of buying ads? How much would 5 times more visitor from search engines like Google or Bing do for your business? Link Research Tools helps you increase that free organic traffic. We have offerings to get your business to become the dominant force on the internet. The secret of internet traffic is what we give you. We convert that traffic into cash flow for your business. Learn more at linkedresearchtools.com. That's linkresearchtools.com and sign up now. Marco Santarelli of Narada Real Estate is the foremost expert in getting your money to work for you. At Narada, most people do not have the time to invest or do the work it takes to grow their wealth. Marco and his team will handle it. Working in 16 markets nationwide, Marco and his team will help set up a strategy to take you through step-by-step how to invest your money the right way and get you earning 8% returns from day one. If you need financing, we have it handled. The inspection for your property, if you need titles done, we have it handled. This is a one-stop shop to get you involved in the real estate game. Narada Real Estate and Marco Santarelli will ensure that you have what you need to start investing the right way. To learn more, visit naradarealestate.com. That's naradarealestate.com. If you have a business and are looking for a merger or acquisition, business valuation, or capital to grow your business, whether you're needing private equity, industry-based buyers, or just want to sell your business, Stanton Park Capital will take care of you. With over 18 years of experience, Stanton Park is the best resource for mergers and acquisitions, business valuation, and private equity capital. Learn more and get started right now with StantonParkLLC.com. That's StantonParkLLC.com.
Hey, welcome back to Young Hustlers. My name's Jared Glant. Every Thursday at noon East Coast Standard Time, we come here and we talk to you about money. We come talk to you about sales. We come to talk about what you can do to shortcut your path to success. Look, I'm just talking from personal experience, right? Like, I'm not telling you anything that I hadn't done up here myself, anything that I hadn't struggled with myself. And so we've covered 5 money mistakes that I made. I was short-sighted. I refused to develop my skill set. I made 0 investments in my education about money. I was living above my means, and I was definitely unwilling to make the investment of time and energy and resources it required to get myself moving into the direction that I wanted to go. Let's go to, we've got some callers on the line. Let's go to one of these callers. Alan in Texas. Welcome to Young Hustlers, Alan.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, dude. What's the biggest mistake you made with money?
I spend it all the time. I try to save for investments, but I never get I never get enough to invest in something that's significant.
Right. So what's your question today?
Yeah, so I have a question. It might be a little unrelated, but in my business, I've been having a lot of problems where my competition undercuts me. I give out bids and estimates, and then competition, undercuts me. They just knock off like $500 off the top, and lost a few contracts just last week doing that. So it's been a problem for me. Just looking for some advice.
Yeah, I mean, like what I would do if that's happening a lot is I'd find out what you need to do on that first call to secure the business. So we actually did a free training. If you go to grantcardone.com/free training, we did a training on, is it grantcardone.com/closer? Closer, yeah, grantcardone.com/closer. We did a free training all about the close. If you weren't on that, you should go check that out, because typically what that means, like if people are making a decision and you're not getting the business, it ain't about the money. It's about you didn't convert the opportunity when you had the opportunity to convert it. So I would just tell you, you need to crank up the intensity when you're trying to close that on the first time you talk to them or visit them or whatever the scenario is, and try to root those things out. Because people, when they make decisions on money, it's typically like the third or fourth thing on the list of importance, right? So right. Figure out what you can do to be different. Figure out what you can do to add more value. You know, to some of your customers, more value may be more important than $500 less.
Okay.
So you need to figure out like what you can offer that your competition can't. Like, what's your product?
We sell. We have a wedding ballroom, so we sell packages like with the food, the DJ, the whole thing. You know. Mm-hmm. That's what we sell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'd look at different things that you can bring into the offer. You know.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
I mean, it's just so not even my space, but you know, any type of vendor relationships that you can scale. I mean, you know, like. Book through us and you'll get access to, we've pre-negotiated deals. I don't know, you may be doing this already, but like, hey, when you book through our venue, because we do so many events, we've negotiated wholesale pricing from all these vendors where you can get X, 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 and X for using the vendors on our list. And when you book an event and let's say that the bill's going to be over like $25K or whatever the number would be, we'll give you the space to use on another occasion for 50% off or something like that. I don't know. Okay. You just got to start getting creative with how you're packaging the deal, because I promise you're not losing the deal over $500. There's something else you missed.
Sure. And then there's this other competitor that, it's coming out really aggressive with pricing, and I just can't keep up with the, with this pricing. I'm not going to whore out my product. I'm not going to. There's a limit to where I can go. So yeah, it's just been a few issues, but I hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so dude, again, it all comes down to the pitch. Like, okay. One of the things on my list, I'm going to jump forward to that one because it ties in right here. Dude, you have to accept responsibility for this whole thing. It has nothing to do with your competitor. One of the reasons people don't have the money that they want, one of the biggest mistakes that they have, is they refuse to accept responsibility for their circumstances. They refuse to accept responsibility to the degree that they can actually change something and make it happen. You can't control things that you refuse to accept responsibility for. So it's not about the customer. It's not about the competition. It's about the fact that you're not doing a good enough job on the pitch. You're not doing enough in the packaging of your offer. You're not doing enough to close the transaction. You need to completely flip this thing and take full responsibility over the entire deal. He's giving away his deal for free. It's your responsibility to figure out what you need to do to overcome that. Do you think that if Grant was going up against the same competitor that he'd find a way to overcome that and close a deal?
I'm sorry, say again?
If Grant was in your situation and he was selling against the same competitor, do you think that he'd still get the deal and not lose it over $500?
I think he would get it 100%. And I think a lot of the times I've sold a person that's right in front of me, but they say, hey, well, it's a big decision. I can't spend all this money right now. My fiance's not here with me, or the parents, or whatever, and then it kind of dies down. I know I have the sell, and maybe if I can push a little bit harder, maybe just give out like an extra incentive. I think a lot of the times I could get it, but, I don't know. I'm not pulling the trigger, just giving them,
Alan,
extra more value.
Alan, mm-hmm. There is we have so much data on this. Like there's so many things just in what you said right there. There are so many little opportunities that I think you're missing in chasing things that may not really be the problem. So go to grantcardone.com/free training. Get on that deal. It'll help you out a ton. We also have a program called the Advanced negotiations, certification. It's designed to solve the exact problem that you're having right there, which you can take advantage of inside that free training. So thanks for the call. So do money mistakes. Number 1, short-sighted. Number 2, you refuse to develop your skill. Number 3, you make zero investments in your education about money. Number 4, you live above your means. Number 5, you're unwilling to make the investments of time, energy, and resources necessary to get you unstuck. Number 6, you refuse to accept responsibility for where you're at, right? Like, you refuse to think that you have control over where you're at. Like, you hate your job. Dude, it ain't your boss's fault. It ain't your company's fault. Dude, it's your fault. I remember when I would be on a call and I didn't get the deal, the first thing I do, what did I miss? How did I do at this part of the call? How did I do in this part of the call? Yep, this is where I could have improved. Customer says to me, your prices are too high. I immediately go, I haven't done my job in creating enough value. Customer says, I'm not signing a long-term contract. I immediately go, I didn't do a good enough job selling them the value of this program long-term. She said no to me. I didn't do a good enough job of presenting my ask. Like, you guys have to accept full responsibility for your circumstances, where you're at right now. It has nothing to do with your family. It has nothing to do with where you live. It has nothing to do with where you grew up. Those are all just excuses, which is number 7. You're rich on excuses and poor on action. You can come up with a list of excuses and reasons a mile long about why you are not where you're at, where you want to be at financially, but you still do nothing about it. Like, you complain, but you never do anything about it. I did that from the time I was 18 to 26 years old. Man, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. I want to make more money. I want to make more money. Man, I want to do this. Oh, I should do that. Maybe if I did this, I could make some extra money, but I didn't do any of it. I never took action, ever. I came up with a bunch of reasons, excuses, problems, and then never took action. Like, kill the problems. Accept responsibility. Like, this kills people. Like, I try to like coach my wife on it too. Like, she has certain things where she's like, oh, well, I can't because of this. I'm like, no. You can't say I can't. It's always, I'm not doing that because. Take ownership of it. Like, it's such a major concept for me. It was like when I first like really understood this, it was like a veil lifted from me because it put me in control. I'm a control freak. I love being in control. You guys like being in control? Y'all would like being in control of your money. I promise you that. If you were in control of it, you could get whatever you want. Dude, you keep blaming other people, other things, the economy, your job, your family, whatever. You keep blaming other people for your problems and you will never be successful. I promise you. So you are rich on excuses, poor in action. Number 8. Let's go to some callers real quick. We got more callers. Let's go. Who do we got?
We got Art in California.
Art in California. What's happening?
Hey, JG. How's it going, my brother?
Good, man. Dude, what was the biggest mistake you made with money?
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. The biggest mistake I made with my money was spending it on the wrong things. You know what I mean?
Yep. I heard that, man. What kind of stuff were you buying?
Basically, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I made $400 a week. I was buying, as soon as I saved up $1,000, I bought a Louis Vuitton belt for $7. You know what I mean? I'm still 18. I'm still young. My mind's not completely there. You know what I mean? But I want to be an entrepreneur and a business owner like you guys.
Yeah. Well, dude, first of all, let me just tell you, I appreciate and respect you for saying that you did something stupid, right? You got to, because see, the thing is some people, they do that and they don't think there's anything wrong with that. So the fact that you actually know that that was a dumb decision, it says something about you. Like, but now you just have to pivot and you have to learn from it, right? So you got to figure out, like, you probably need to spend more time at 18 years old in the first two, the first two that I discussed, which was, you need to develop your skill set and you need to make investments in your education about money. Because you're in a position right now where you can, like, you have an advantage that I didn't have because I wasn't out listening to a show like this. I didn't have people around me that were telling me stuff like this. Like, you have the ability now to wipe the slate clean with everything that you've learned and install a new foundation of understanding about success. And then you have access to people like Grant and people like, Ed Milet, or some of the folks that we've had, Andy Frisella, some of the people that we've had at Growth Conference. Like, you have.
Dude. I used to be in W. I mean, I'm still trying to do it. I've met Ed Milet a couple times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Very nice dude.
So like, my point is, you have all these people that you can be connected to that can help you. But like, dude, like, beware about what you see on the internet. Like, people freak out. They're like, the internet is a great thing to connect people, but it can also connect you to things that can cause problems for you. Like, for me, like, I really try when I'm on social media, I try not to get outside of what I'm trying to do with it. Like, I don't use social media enough. I like being kind of in a bubble because the only limits I put on myself are my own. But when I start getting everything, like, I got my blinders on, I'm running like a thoroughbred, right? And then when you get in those spaces where people are throwing around all kinds of stuff, you start judging, you start thinking this, you start thinking that, and most of it's bullshit, man. Like, most of it's fake. Most people aren't making money. People are like, oh man, I got a 7-figure business. I'm like, yeah, but you spent $900,000 to get it. So you made $100,000, bro. Like, you probably still can't even pay your bills.
For your advice, because I'm in the auto wrecking business right now, and I'm just wondering, man, how I can make some more money, because we're in Palmdale, and I don't know if you know much about Palmdale, but be honest with you, people don't have much money here, and how much can you sell to people that don't have it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. You know the beautiful thing about a telephone? Dude, you can call anywhere you want in the world, and you can be anyone you want to be when you're making that call. So, dude, what I would tell you is invest in your skills, invest in your education about money, and stay connected with people that are at where you would, or be at or beyond where you want to be. Like, that's why I know I'm good with Grant, because he's the only guy I follow and listen to. Like,
yeah, me too. To be
dude,
honest
like,
I'll every day for me.
Full transparency. I just wrote a check yesterday for another $250,000. In the last 6 years, I've written $1.4 million in checks to invest in real estate with him. It's the only place that I put my money. Dude, I know he's gonna make his money work. Like, I know, like, he has 5 times more money, probably more than that, probably 10 times more money now than he did when I first started working for him. Like, I know where he's going, dude.
I have another question about, handling objection, because I've introduced you guys, like, to my parent, obviously, over, like, YouTube and stuff, but they're like, oh, don't listen to them. They're trying to make money off you. But I know you guys legit, like, I mean, I see you guys are doing well for yourselves, obviously. You know what I mean? So I was going to ask you, how do I, like, handle that? You know what I mean?
Get rid of him. Don't listen to him, dude. Dude, do not listen to people that aren't where you want to be.
Yeah.
The haters will always find a way to hate. Like, dude, why you following those guys? All they want to do is sell you stuff to make money. No. Yes, we want to make money, but we want to give you a product that works. And the product that works, the product that we sell you will be worth, could be 1,000 times more than the money that we get from you. Dude, you have to exchange to be committed. You have to, like we do this show right now. The show is absolutely free.
Yeah.
You can go, we're doing a training on money. Like, this is all, like, y'all just need to get on board with this training that we're doing. Cinco de Mayo. That's how you say it, right? Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yeah.
It's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We're going to do a training on money. You can go to grantcardone.com/money to register. Like, 2 hours of Grant basically telling you, correcting everything that in your head you've been educated your entire life, and he's going to tell you why it's completely wrong. I started changing my thinking, dude.
Money, do this, do that. Everything you guys talk about, that's exactly what they do. And I'm trying to, be better than that.
Yeah,
dude.
You
know what I'm saying?
Dude, you got to take small steps, dude. Go to grantcardone.com/money. You'll learn more in that 2 hours than you probably learned the entire 18 years you've been alive. Hey, dude, I appreciate the call. Okay, so let's see. Number 8 here, back to the list. Chasing trends. trying to invest in the thing because it's the hot thing. Like, you're always looking for that thing where you can get rich quick. This happened with Bitcoin, right? Like, so many people, like, when it started running, dude, people were buying Bitcoin on credit cards. Bitcoin's at 15 grand, 18 grand. People are like, dude, it's going to run. It's breaking right now. People are taking seconds out on their homes, right? 20 grand. They're like, oh my gosh, it's about ready to break. And then it broke all right. Down. Dude, you got people that bought at 18,000, 20,000, and Bitcoin's worth $8,000 today. Dude, killing themselves, right? I'll just tell you, I just recently bought some Bitcoin, and I want to tell you why I bought some Bitcoin. Because Anthony, he said, hey man, I found this thing, and you basically, you buy your deal, you put the Bitcoin in there, and then these guys, they mine Bitcoin, and then they pay you every week. I'm like, that sounds kind of like a Ponzi scheme. And he's like, yeah, but it works. Look, I made my money back already. I'm like, dang, dude, I'm like, all right, dude, what's like $6,000? So I bought some Bitcoin. It was $6,700. And I had a problem with the transaction in the account. I couldn't get the money moved around because I couldn't figure it out because I'm new to it all. And then it wouldn't accept the money, and then it wouldn't do this. And then I forgot about it, right? And then 3 days later, Anthony's like, hey, yo, good thing you didn't do that. And I'm like, why? What happened? He goes, it's a Ponzi scheme. The whole thing fell apart. Dude, I was chasing that quick thing, right? And then I checked Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was at like 8,700. I'm like, damn, dude, I made $2,000 in a week or 10 days or whatever it's been. Chasing it, like without getting involved into the thing. Anyways, whatever. My point is that you chase these trends because you think it's a way to make a quick buck. Like trends come and go. The thing that will always remain constant is your ability to produce. A lot of people making money online right now. A lot of people making money on Facebook and Instagram and Shopify. Dude, one day the internet goes completely out. Guess what I know how to do? I know how to make money using this. I know how to call people. I know how to cold call. I know how to follow up. I know how to pitch a deal. I know how to get attention. Like you gotta be well-rounded. Like that's what I see about Grant. Like Grant can make money in so many different ways. So like if you want to make big money, you got to throw a big net, man. You got to have a lot of ability to go out so you can start swooping all these funds up. Let's see. Caller? We'll go to a caller. One more caller. Zach from New Hampshire, what's going on?
Jared, what's going on, man?
Dude, thanks for calling the show.
Dude, my pleasure. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. What's the biggest mistake you made with money?
Oh, man, you want to know?
Yeah.
Well, the biggest mistake was I made a little bit of money last year, thought I was the man. I bought 3 Bathing Ape T-shirts. I don't know if you ever heard of that brand, but a little over $1,000. I thought I was cool for buying it, and then a week later, I was just like, man, that was stupid.
So how much money did you make last year?
How much money did I make last year? Let me think. Well, right now I'm still in college, so I'm working part-time right now.
Yeah, but you said you made a little bit of money last year and you bought some Bathing Apes shirts. How much money did you have that you thought was he was the man. Yeah, you thought you were the man.
Oh, I thought I was the man because
yeah, but how much money was that? How much money was that?
To buy all those shirts?
Yeah, how much money did you have to where you said in the beginning, you said, hey, I made a little bit of money, I thought I was the man, and I went out and bought all these shirts. How much money did you have?
Dude, like $1,200.
Wow.
I know, and like it's crazy how much like a year from that to now, my whole mindset is completely different. Completely different, Jared.
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome, man. People do stupid stuff with money all the time, man.
Oh,
all the time.
Yeah, because we're taught the wrong things.
Yeah. So dude, you know, the easy come, easy go, dude. You gotta try to flip that thing around, dude. You gotta try to flip that thing around. So, dude, what's your question?
I mean, my question is, so I'm 23 years old, getting out of college right now. I'm a business communications major. Want to get into sales. I'm getting experience right now. Actually, I work at an insurance place. We do car insurance, but now I'm going to be switching from insurance to selling fitness memberships because I like working in the gym and like that's my passion and everything.
Yeah.
And like I want to practice selling face to face and everything, which is what you do with gym memberships. And so my thing now is get really, really nervous now. And like, how do I get over the fear of failure? Because I know I'm going to fail at some things because that's just inevitable. How do I get over the fear of failure and just push through that? 'Cause I know you got to get uncomfortable to be great.
Yeah. And so that was another thing for me. Like when I read the 10X rule, and Grant has a chapter in the 10X rule, and it says it's called "Fear is an Indication of Growth." And so, like,
page 150 actually.
Yeah. So like for me, when I read that, I was like, damn, dude. Like, again, like you got to be committed to the success thing. You got to be committed to going big. Because when your commitment to going big exceeds your level of fear, that's when you start doing things. So you got to go ahead.
I think like it stems down because like in school I wasn't the best student and like I failed a lot, and I think the fear of failure stems down from me in school failing because I failed all the time, and like in school it taught me like failure is a bad thing. Oh, you don't want to get a bad grade. Now I'm trying to reverse engineer that and use failure as a way to learn and just push through.
Yeah, dude, what I would tell you is I would try, like, the second you hang up this phone today, like, do something that you're going to get crushed at. Like that's how I had to do phone calls, right? Like that's how I had to do. Right. I remember when I'd have to like get into the close and like negotiate a deal with the decision maker, like in the very beginning when I first started selling, dude, I was so nervous. Like I'd have the phone, I'd have the number, I'd have everything ready, and I'd go like 30 minutes without making the call. Like I'd find things to do. I'd start cleaning my desk up, like, moving things around. Your mind
starts playing tricks on you.
Yeah, dude, and it's like standing up on top of the cliff, getting ready to jump into the water. Like, you're standing up on that like 40-foot cliff. The longer you stand up there, the harder it is to jump, right? So I would just tell you, like, if you knew, let me just rephrase this, Zach. If you knew, for example, let's just talk about cold calls or with customers in the gym. If you knew that for every 15 people that you failed with, you would get a deal. If you had if you had a way to actually know that like you had like if you got to 15 people, you'd get a deal, and that deal was worth $500 to you.
And that's the thing. I know once I start this, so once I start interacting with customers, I know I'm not going to be that good at first. I know that. I just got to get over that. It's just going to be practice, repetition, and then once I get good at it. Because the thing with me, the one thing I can brag about is once I become good at something, I become obsessed with it.
Oh yeah, but but you got to be committed to getting good at it. So look, like I would just tell you, like when we have a new salesperson, they come in, they're nervous about calls, they have this call reluctance or whatever that they're going through. There's people around them that are doing 200, 250 calls in a day. I'm like, do not worry about call 250. Worry about call number 1. Like don't overwhelm yourself. Just make one call. Like just step into one call. After you complete that, do the next call. Like you've got to take this big massive unknown and bring it down into something manageable. Like go talk to one person. And most of the time when people are calling on the phone, they don't even talk to anybody, they leave a message. But just the fact that they took action, it starts to actually quiet that reservation.
Right. And
So,
I'd rather fail than do nothing at all. That's just how I look at it too.
well, that's not what it sounds like. It sounds like you said you're scared of failing.
Oh yeah, I'm scared of failing. I just got to do it because if I fail, I just got to get over it.
Yeah. So like this is a problem that a lot of people struggle with. But dude, you just got to take action. So let's see. Let's go to number 9. Number 9 money mistake. Let me give you a summary real quick if you're just joining us. Number 1 money mistake I made was I was short-sighted. Number 2, refused to develop my skills. Number 3, I didn't invest any money anywhere in my own education about money. Number 4, I was faking it till I made it, right? Fake it till you make it, living above my means. Number 5, I didn't make any investments of time and energy and resources into getting unstuck. Number 6, I chased trends, the sexy new thing, the shiny object, the get rich quick. Number 7, I was rich on excuses and poor on action. I wouldn't do anything. All I did was complain. Number 8, I had zero responsibility. It was always somebody else's fault. Number 9 is I was apathetic. I didn't even think it could happen to me. Like I didn't think I was actually capable of making it big. I was like, man, if I could just become a millionaire, things would be different. And it seemed like it was so far off. Like you got to get past that. Like you got to know it's real for you. You got to know that it's happening all around you. And you can't let people that are around you, what's up?
Turn on notifications and share.
We're going to give away stuff?
We're going to pick out 6.
For what? On Instagram? Okay. All right. If you guys turn on your notifications, so if you're on Instagram, it's going to be over here. Facebook. Follow me at Jared Glant. Follow Grant at Grant Cardone. Turn your notifications on. Jump on your left foot 3 times and count to 25. And you're going to qualify for some free swag. We got some shirts and we got some hats and stuff here. But anyways, back to my list, Johnny, before you interrupted me. You're apathetic and you don't think that it can happen to you. It can happen to you. It happened to me. Zero money, in debt, backwards to millionaire in 4 years. It can happen to you. I promise you. And then number 10 is you don't think that money is important. You are programmed by the people around you to think that you have enough and that everything's all good and your $100,000 a year job is you're safe and secure. But the truth is, dude, you are at risk. Because like Grant always says, you're good until you're not. And then you don't have enough. Mom gets sick, dad gets sick, economy collapses, you lose your job, your company goes under. Like there could be 50 things that could happen that would wipe out just about every person in the middle class like today. The average American lives paycheck to paycheck. Like 40% of Americans couldn't come up with $400 for an emergency if they need to. It would take just you just get grazed by something and you'd be wiped out. Right? So look, that's my list of money mistakes. I hope you guys are aware enough and you're hearing this to if you're hearing anything on this list that you're making changes. You're already going, man, I need to do that. I need to change it. Because I promise you, you change these things and your whole perspective changes. Like you become in a position of control. You begin to be at cause rather than at effect. You begin to see opportunities that you would have missed otherwise. You begin to do the thing that the one thing that will contribute more to your wealth than anything else is income. You've got to make money. There's no way I've been able to invest the money I had with Grant if I wasn't increasing my income. So that's when we say this is a sales show and you're like, well, how does the money thing tie into sales? Dude, that is how it works. You have to increase your income if you want to get rich. Like saving will not make you wealthy. Making the same money every year will not make you wealthy. Like if you want to be rich when you're 70, then people can show you ways to where, you put this much money away for the rest of your life. And then when you're 70, you'll have $1 million. I don't want that plan. I want the short plan. I want to be worth $50 million at 40 years old. That's my goal. I want it to happen quick. I don't want to wait for it to happen. So these are just 10 things, right? These are 10 things that I knew I was doing wrong in hindsight. But when I came to work for Grant, I started seeing these things. I'm like, man, I need to fix all this stuff. I'm thinking way wrong about this. And then I really started learning, right, from Grant. I started looking at how he operates. I saw how he communicated. I saw how he treated money. I saw the ways that the things that he was taught about money and how he handles them. I started seeing tricks that Grant used to increase money. I saw ways that he was cutting costs and expenses, but at the same time, totally 10x in revenue and sales and income. I saw how he went from probably 50 million to 350 million in net worth. I mean, I saw it all happen, and I saw the way he would structure deals with his house, and he was selling his house, and then he'd move this money around over here. I saw all this stuff. I still don't understand most of it, right? That's why I stay close. And if you want to peek behind the curtain, if you want to know inside the mind of somebody who, no blue blood, no silver spoon, self-made, went from nothing to worth north of 300 million. I know for sure now. It's going to be more than that. He'll be a billionaire in the next 3 or 5 years. If you want to peek behind the curtain of a guy who's actually out there doing it, you've got to sign up for a training that we're doing. If you go to grantcardone.com/money, the training is going to be not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Grant's coming in on a Saturday to do it. Going to spend 2 hours going over money, like what you can do to get your money right faster, what you can do to shortcut your path to success. Dude, you want to be a millionaire by 30? This training will help you get there, I promise you. Without this information, you'll continue to make the bad decisions that you've been making. You continue to violate these 10 things that I was violating. You've got to have the right data. If you're not where you are wanting to be in life financially, it may not be your fault. You may just have bad information, and that's why you keep getting frustrated. That's why you just want to give up. That's why you get apathetic and you just don't think it can happen to you. It can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. It happened to me, and I thought all those things. So get registered for the training that we're doing, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, grantcardone.com/money. This is Young Hustlers. Every Thursday at noon East Coast Standard Time, we come here to help you out with your sales game, with your money game, with your success game, so that you can build your ideal life. If you're listening on the podcast, please rate, please review, please ask questions, please share, please subscribe. If you're watching on the streams, turn your notifications on. We've got 4 10X hats, 2 Cardone University shirts that are signed by Grant. First 6 people that we see that do that, we'll get those sent out to you. Natalie will reach out to you and get you set up. So I appreciate you guys sticking around today. And remember, the only people who will condemn your hustle are the people that have already given up on the hustle themselves. We'll see you next time.
Producers and creators are the sources of all value on the planet. MC Lobster, the host of the top-rated business and investing podcast Cashflow Ninja, is on a mission with Producers Wealth to help producers create, protect, and multiply their wealth outside of Wall Street in any economy by creating systems and processes that help them increase their production, provides them with liquidity, passive income generators, and opportunities for enormous growth. Learn more about their time-tested and proven systems at yourownbankingsystem.com. That's yourownbankingsystem.com.